I just want to spend a very short time talking about De Beers and about some of the work that De Beers does in the corporate and social responsibility area. We don't tend to over-promote such activity, but there is a lot of good work, and I actually think it's good for the industry to be very aware of the work that we do. De Beers invests over $10 million every year to support social and economic development through more than 600 healthcare, employment and educational programs. De Beers consolidated mines in South Africa and Debswana in Botswana were the first mining companies in the world to extend free antiretroviral treatment with regards to HIV to employees, their partners and former employees for life. So De Beers was the first ever company in the world to do that. The company invests more pre-tax profits in corporate social development than the benchmarks that are set out by the UK-based 1% Club. And every year the company funds 2 senior graduates to study in master's degrees in the United States in public health at the Bloomberg School of Public Health. This is a very important project that allows the development of public health in parts of Africa, and we support this very strongly. The company has trained more than 1,000 South African students to cut, polish and work with diamonds. Now those are all students that do not work within De Beers, so that's supporting sustainability for the diamond industry in South Africa itself. Also in South Africa, De Beers has funded the building of 10 schools, supporting the education of around 6,000 pupils every single year, and has invested more than $1 million in rural education in Southern Africa. We strongly believe that going to school is the best anti-poverty, anti-famine, anti-disease and anti-unemployment program that we can give to these people. Diamonds account, as Gaetano said, for 75% of Botswana's export revenues. Due to these revenues, every child in Botswana can now go to school to the age of 13. Education, we believe, as I said, is absolutely critical. UNESCO has estimated that if every child could read, we could take somewhere in the region of 170 million children out of poverty. When diamonds were discovered in Botswana back in 1966, the country had 3 miles of roads. Today they have 4,000 miles, a full network connecting communities across the whole country. Everyone at De Beers works to 5 core principles. Now I won't go through every single principle here because I'd probably be standing up for an hour. But the one I want to tell you about is one that we really believe in, which is show we care. We have to believe in this, and we do. So there is a key principle in the organisation that is show we care. We fundamentally believe that the people whose lives we touch, their communities, their nations, and the environment we share all matter deeply to us. We will always think through the consequences of what we do so that our contribution to the world is real, lasting, and we can be proud of it. We live as a company by these core values, and every employee lives as well by exactly those values. And this approach, to be fair, has been recognised as a beacon in the world of corporate responsibility, especially when we move forward with beneficiation in Southern Africa. And I'll just give you a few quotes from some rather well-known people. Nelson Mandela said of De Beers that it is a fine example of a responsible business making a real and lasting contribution to the people in the countries and communities that it operates. I don't think you can do much better than Nelson Mandela. The president of Botswana has said that he thanks the diamond business as it's seen his country transformed from one of the poorest in the world to the middle income status that it now has attained. And And finally, more recently, in August of last year, Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State of the United States, at a press conference in Nigeria stated, when you buy a diamond from De Beers, part of that money still today goes to help build and maintain roads and clean water systems in countries like Botswana. I think it's fair to say, if you can get recommendations from people such as those three you've just heard, it fundamentally supports the sort of work that we're doing in Southern Africa. De Beers as a company, as I said at the beginning, does not shout about such activity. It's not really in the nature of CSR programs that we've launched. But what I would say is that I think going forward there is no doubt CSR and the adoption of the Millennium Development Goals will be absolutely critical to this industry. And I have actually got a short report that I would like to hand out now to all of you that talks about the opportunities related to these in the near future, and the fact that as an industry, and the luxury industry in particular, can take up this challenge, there is no doubt we can make a significant difference.